Okay.
All right.
Hi.
Okay. Your name?
All right. Hi, my name is Andre Perez, and I work for the Puerto Rican Cultural Center, and specifically for Vida Sida. And what we do is I coordinate a program called Generation L, and we are a program funded through the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, in order to try to do HIV prevention, but for youth, right? And so that looks really different than I think it used to look. And so, like, specifically, I work with 18 to 24-year-old Latino men who have sex with men, so like gay and bisexual men and transgender women. And we try to do different kinds of social events and programming that are going to be really fun and engaging for the community. And then we also try to work a safer sex message into that, sort of encouraging condom use or getting tested for STIs, and really trying to create a cultural shift within the community that says, like, actually it's like normal and accepted and good to like use condoms or to get tested, and that that's not something that you shouldn't do because your friends are gonna like look down on you or like think worse of you for it.
Okay. And in what way has Vida Sida, the community center, like helped you expand, to more audiences as opposed to, just you doing this on your own with other people? Like, in what way has Vida Sida helped?
I mean, like, Vida Sida has like really strong, because Vida Sida is a part of the Puerto Rican Cultural Center, like it has a really strong like anchor in this community, in Humboldt Park, in Paseo Boricua, and so like has these like really long partnerships. Like Vida Sida has been around since 1988, which also happens to be the year I was born.
Oh,
and so it's like, for 24 years, it's really been like has been on the forefront of like building trust with people, right? Like building relationships with other organizations in the Latino community, and also just in the Puerto Rican community, and really like fighting a lot of like homophobia and like negative attitudes towards gay people and AIDS within this community. So it's I feel really proud to be sort of a part of that like legacy, even though I've been here for like a short amount of time.
All right. Do you think that there's a majority of there's more, how do I say this? The reason there's more AIDS, HIV in between like the Hispanic community, Puerto Rican especially, is it because like their lack of information, or because like the prevention of like the parents saying, oh, you're not, we don't know why, like they won't accept that you're gay, lesbian, bisexual, or anything like that? Do you believe it's a lot based on the cultural differences as opposed to like African Americans, regular, I guess you want to say white? Yeah.
I mean, I'd say like there's a combination of factors, right? And maybe part of it is a sort of a lot of like sort of maybe like Catholic attitudes or more conservative attitudes that are put out by the Catholic Church, specifically against condom usage and against being gay and stuff, right? So like I think that's a part of it, but I also don't think that that's all of it. Like I think a part of it is that the Center for Disease Control has been funding these programs that reach out almost exclusively to like white gay communities for 20 years. And so what comes out of that is that we see a declining number of people, or we see people in the white gay community more likely to use condoms, it's more normalized to use condoms and to negotiate around that, whereas like that's not something that's talked about as much in like Latino communities and communities of color more broadly, right? And so I think that a big part of it is a failing on the part of like the public health like funding structures and administration structures that haven't really considered the needs of communities of color very strongly in the past. And that's something that we see shifting now. And so we see more funding going towards African American and Latino populations. And I say like, yeah, African Americans in Chicago also have like incredibly high rates of HIV infection in like young communities. It's like 1 in 3 in some of the more like densely African American neighborhoods. And so then it's like, why are we seeing that, right? And I think it's, like I said, I think it's a combination. I don't think you can just like blame sort of people who get infected and say like, oh, it's your fault that you're making these choices. Like, it has to do with information, it has to do with access, right? Like, if you have to leave your neighborhood and travel a long distance in order to get somewhere where you can get condoms or get tested, then you're less likely to do that. So yeah, that's what I think some of the factors are.